Thank you for coming all this way. I don't know if you heard that, but it sounds as if General Talera is still here in exile. For all but losing the fortress of Melsenshire. Long ago, Talera led our forces, but then the Tuatha produced a foe she could not best. Her forces barely survived the retreat out of Cluracan. Many blamed her for the loss, to have built up hopes so high, only to have them topple. That was Talera's crime, and she has paid for it, day after day. You're as quick as ever. Talera is in the cradle of summer, banished from the battlefields of Melsenshire until she can atone for her past. According to the Fate Weaver here, she seeks an artifact from Ural Tusk that might break the siege and aid our forces. But she cannot do so alone, for poor Talera is fated never to succeed. That is where you can help. Last I heard, General Talera was somewhere in northern Erythel, searching for a way to turn the tide of the war. I think she took a squad to Uraltusk. You should be just what the general's looking for.
Someone's got to make sure these ladders stay down. And you need to move before O'Waglin's troops start falling back.
Be on your way.
You have a habit of choosing strange times for conversation.
The Tuatha are on the run. Good work. Plus, it's much more pleasant here without Gadflow bellowing at me from all corners. But enough pleasantry. Are you prepared for your reunion with Ventrinio? The notes we got from Octien say that you were employed as Ventrinio's assistant in his secret laboratory. You were with him in Alabastra when you died, but the notes weren't clear on what happened. I'm sure the two of you have so much catching up to do. Just make sure he lives long enough to get us into Alabastra. Once that's done, it's none of my business. Of course, this is bound to be informative. I'm just disappointed I never had a chance to see the original Well of Souls. Secret Fey paths through elemental darkness? Magic like that should be closely guarded. Imagine how powerful it could be. He's a worm, but a useful one. Octien took quite a risk setting him up in Cluracan. Must have made a lot of deals to keep him safely hidden away. Danistar is almost perfectly defended. Ventrinio could keep an army off of its shores. Good thing we found another way there. I believe our new friend has a disturbing path of living shadow to offer you. By all means, be my guest. I hope you're ready for this. Off into the swamps, I assume? None that would be of any help. After a decade of Tuatha control, they've all gone quiet. But if there are any out there, I'm sure they'll be looking for you. Just keep your eyes open. After all, it will be in their swamp. Be on your way. The House of Pride opened its gates and welcomed us as honorary champions. They say it's simple hospitality, but I suspect we have you to thank. Now is the difficult part. We can hold Cluracan, even push a little into Alabastra, but we don't have the forces to mount a siege on Gadflow. Once the House of Pride gives their word, they'll never break it. At least, not while it looks like we're winning. Our real problem is that we can't march the army through Alabastra. Not in formation, at least. This will call for smaller groups. Alabastra is a maze of valleys. Gadflow's remaining faithful would spot an army moving together, and the valleys would be the death of us. But where an army would fail, the 5 of us can triumph. If we split up, we can travel faster and catch them unaware. We will at the House of Vengeance, on Gadflow's doorstep. From there, we strike at Bale, the heart of his empire. I'm sure you know more about it than I do. After all, you were here last. Now that you've driven off the Tuatha, those House of Pride fools don't even want to acknowledge they ever served Gadflow. Disgusting little turncoats. But useful ones to have on our side, as long as we keep an eye on them. That's where we'll find Gadflow, and where we'll put an end to this whole war. I hope you're ready. This time. The Fae of House Vengeance has always embraced their anger. Before Gadflow, they accepted it and controlled it. Now they wield it like a pair of swords. When mortals were welcomed into the Faelands, Vengeance already despised us as interlopers. When Gadflow declared war, they were already on his side. More than you'd think. But I promise I'll explain it all to you. Maybe once Gadflow's dead. I'll see you in Alabastra. There's nothing to gain by waiting. Let's move! I'll see you in Alabastra. Yes? I believe our new... This island smells like death. Stay behind me. Whatever that gnome's been up to, this is your end. One step closer. Just as Hughes thought, then Trinio used the same wards from their old lab. This'll be quick. Follow me and be careful. The Laz are coming from somewhere in here. We have to keep moving. This tower hasn't got long.
The energy from the Well of Souls is overwhelming. Damn it! It's wrong. And why are there so many Laz?
I expected a little more. Sounds like our rat is caught in a trap. I'm sure he'd be happy to help whoever saves him. Careful, or we'll get trapped up there too.
Here's where we part ways. I'll stop the lads at the stairwell. You get upstairs and retrieve Ventrinio. Shouldn't be hard to find him. Keep moving up and follow the cowardly shrieking. I'll hold this staircase. Move! Talk with this old fool before I lose my temper.
Yes?
He's lost his home, his safety, and his life's work. Something tells me he'll be amenable to working with us.
Mindless soldiers who fight without thoughts. Really just wild magic moving a corpse around.
Get what we need and let's go!
All my work gone. But at least we're still alive. Once again, going back, I'll need... Perhaps it might just help against whatever killed you the first time. We got... See, in his house, no one can stand before him. None. I'm going to... And if you value your life, just go to the field of Huber and wait for me. You mean your deadly little shadow? I know her type. All smiles now, but it's just so she can get close enough to stick. You don't remember it? You're not the type to hold a grudge, right? I didn't know anything about you before you worked for me. And you didn't like... But you... Oh, speaking of which... Get going. And remember, don't go near Dren until I get there.
I'm sure we can trust Ventrinio, but I'll keep an eye on him. I'll stay here and keep an eye on Ventrinio. We'll meet you at the field of Huber, to the south. Sidon says the barrier into Alabastra is a result of a fae named Dren, the defender of pride, or so they say. All I know is that everyone who walks into that barrier falls to their knees and gets cut down if they don't get pulled back out. Everyone except Ventrinio. The House of Pride is the gateway to Alabastra. Until we can find a way through it, Gadflow can send his soldiers through. You got into Alabastra once. You can do it again.